that Dustin was with her and she got with Dusty while she's with Dustin?
He hated his dad for a while.
Yes.
When we were together, me and Dustin, he couldn't stand his dad. I'm like, why? And he would never talk about it. But then when there he is. No, I mean, nothing against Terri, but you got with that. Terri's not ugly.
No, she's a beautiful lady. Beautiful lady.
All right, guys, we are going to soon hear about Dustin Rhodes and Terri Runnels' marriage and how it was an entanglement between the two. Tune in more to Locker Room. We're going to discuss this one. Hey guys, it's Toss Rain Scandal, aka KDH. This is the Turnbow King building. We here at the Locker Room. We're here to talk about today. Marty Janetty exposes Dusty Rhodes and Terri Runnels. You guys sit down because we about to air some dirty laundry on this one. Now, Marty Janetty, the one half of the Rockets tag team, he recently did an interview. He did an interview actually most recently. Now, in this interview, he talked about many things. He talked about the whole Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon situation, which has been going around lately. He talked about that. He talked about some other things as well. But the thing about it is he recently went on the podcast. He talked about it's allegedly that Dustin Rhodes, a.k.a. Goldust, when he was married to Terri Runnels, Marlena, during that marriage, it's been said that Terri Runnels was messing around with Dusty Rhodes while she was still married to Dustin Rhodes. Now, we know both of them, Dusty Rhodes, and Dustin Rhodes and Dusty, the father and son, they had the best relationship over the years, but they did patch things up later on before Dusty Rhodes passing in 2015, before his passing in 2015. However, we do know also that this is back in the WCW days. Dusty Rhodes, after he retired from full-time from wrestling, he was a booker. It's alleged that Terri Runnels messed around with, allegedly slept with Dusty Rhodes for a position in WCW. And maybe this allegedly could be one of the many things why the marriage between Dustin Rhodes and Terri Runnels fell apart in 1999. They was married for 6 years. They had a daughter named Dakota. So I know Dusty Rhodes and I know Dustin has other issues as well, but it could be maybe this played a part in why the marriage fell apart, and also led to why Dustin Rhodes and Dusty also fell out of their father-son relationship, amongst other things. But soon the interview's going to come up. It's going to be Marty Janetty and Monte and the Pharaoh interview. Let's check it out here.
In fact, I'll tell you this. When Terri Runnels was on the show, right? She's like, hey, come back to my room. And then she saw the intro video while we were driving back to her room. And she's like, just drop me off.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, you're a fucking pussy.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Yes, she did. Like her? I'm telling the true story.
I could never get with her.
Why?
And she tried. Well, because I was good friends with Dustin Rhodes, yeah. Very good friends. We roomed together. We were together all the time. And that's right when they first started splitting off. But I would hear them on the phone. Love you, all that stuff. So I could never be with her.
No, in reality, dude, she's a really good lady. I mean, I thought she was a very nice
she's
person.
good. Yeah, she was good-hearted. I mean, I'm not talking her down. It's just she got around, and I couldn't.
What do you mean? Just what? She got around and you couldn't. All right, now I got to ask you this.
New Jack.
All right, if we know New Jack, how about the rumor that she was with Jim Ross?
Oh, fuck. Well,
yeah, exactly.
I got one worse than that.
What's that?
And it was this thing that I can't tell.
You come on, dude. Stop. You can't bring the audience this close and
Okay,
then just let it
maybe
loose.
Dustin lied to me, maybe. But his dad got with her. And it was for, she was doing it for a position in WCW. Or
So this is before she met Dustin. Wait a minute. Was Dustin with her?
You're getting me in trouble.
Dude, you got to go with this now. All right. You're telling me that Dustin was with her and she got with Dusty while she's with Dustin?
He hated his dad for a while.
Yes.
When we were together, me and Dustin, he couldn't stand his dad. I'm like, why? And he would never talk about it. But then one there he is. I mean, nothing against Terri, but you got with that? Terri's not ugly.
No, she's a beautiful lady. Beautiful lady.
And she loves her. The reason I say that, when we would do things at WWF, she would always want to do like the scenes. Like she had one in particular that she wanted to walk up the ladder and then the video from underneath, because she wasn't gonna wear no panties. And they were like, we can't do that. We can't put that on TV.
Wow, man, we've learned a lot of stuff in this. One, you're going to forgive Hannibal. 2, Roddy Piper may have died under abnormal circumstances. 3, Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels did get together. 4, that Terri Runnels fooled around with Dusty Rhodes while married to Dustin Rhodes. What is that about, dude? That's tough. That's tough.
I had to ride with him every day. And it was, because I was a big fan of Dusty. Yeah. And when him and I actually, fuck him, I didn't like him anymore when he died. Because I was the only friend he had when he came to WWF. Because he had fucked the guys over when he was a booker down in WCW. So everybody hated him. Everybody hated when he came in. He had to do the plumber thing. Everybody hated him. I always say Road Warrior Hawk. Fucking piece of fat.
I didn't know he was going to be there, and somebody ran out of the door because I'm sitting in the back with Barry and Kurt Hennig. He said, "Your dad's here and he's coming out." So immediately I'm like, "Oh God, oh my God, what am I going to do?" I got scared. Got very, very frightened. My dad was a very intimidating man. Vince McMahon's a very intimidating man. But this is my dad, and this is my blood. No matter what feelings I had towards him or what feelings he had towards me, he's coming out that door, and I don't know what's going to happen. And Dad had this certain swagger about him with his cowboy hat tilted kind of to the side, and he starts walking. He walks out of the door and it's larger than life, and he's coming right at me. And he's just doing his little swagger like he does, and he walks up to me, and he puts his arms around me, and we hug for probably, it brings tears sometimes, probably about 20 minutes. It was very, very, and he was just, I'm sorry, this, that, I'm sorry too. And I swear to God, he hugged me for like 20 minutes. So right there, I'm thinking to myself, I'm never gonna let this happen again. And it's very important that I tell you that if you're having a falling out with your mother, your sisters, your brothers, your dads, or whatever, mend that, man, because they're the only ones that you have. And once they're gone, they're gone. And if you can mend it, it's going to be much better, I promise you that. And from that day on, man, we got tighter than anything. And it was just incredible. It was very scary, but very surreal and emotional night. I didn't want to talk about emotional stuff to y'all. I'm sorry. This brought it out. You got me?
What we heard was Marty Janetty talking about the Dusty Rhodes and Terri Runnels, literally entanglement going on between them. But if that is true, allegedly, that's messed up for Dusty Rhodes. R.I.P. to Dusty Rhodes, but that's still wrong if he did do that with Terri Runnels. That's crazy to do that to your son. I can see why Dusty and Dustin had a fallout. Now, I know people are going to say that the fallout between Dustin Rhodes and Dusty fell out to over his Goldust character, and that Dusty Rhodes was against the whole Goldust character and Dustin wanted to do the character. I'm not saying that's not true. That led to many things of the reason of fallout. I'm just saying this is in addition to that, why that fell out as well. So it could be many things, because people are saying over the years that Dustin Rhodes, you know, he faced a lot of demons during his career. He had a lot of things to overcome. So I'm not saying that's the only thing that allegedly caused the marriage to fall apart with himself and Terri Runnels, but it could be the Goldust character. It could be many other things. But it is good to hear that before, like I said, before Dusty Rhodes passed away, that him and Dustin were able to patch things up and get things better. But did you guys hear about that? That's crazy for you to be married to a woman in the wrestling business and she goes around and allegedly sleeps with your dad while you're still married to her and think everything's going to be the same. Because, you know, also, besides Dusty and Dustin not getting along for many years before they reconciled, you know, Terri Runnels and Dustin Rhodes also fell out too, but after the divorce. I heard they weren't on the best of terms for many, many years, but they end up working that out. And I heard they actually are friends now. They're closer now than they were when they were married back in the 90s when they got married. So that's just a wild thing. But I know people are also going to not really take Marty Janetty's word for it. I know Marty Janetty has not had the best history with keeping himself up well. I know with, all the stuff he's been taking, all the stuff he's went through. I don't think Marty Janetty would make this up for any reason. There's no gain. Marty Janetty was, he did work with Dustin Rhodes. He roomed with him. He was around him a lot. Said they were cool, they were close. So I don't think he will make that up for any reason. There's no personal gain from him. I don't think he's allegedly on anything. He just spoke it out because he was around him. Just something that happened. But also it said as well that Terri Runnels was allegedly messing around with Jim Ross. So that is another thing that happened too. Did not know about that as well, but that is crazy that they did say that Terri Runnels got around back in the day. I know after the divorce from Dustin Rhodes, she also dated New Jack from ECW. R.I.P. to him as well. I know New Jack has mentioned that in an interview that he dated Terri Runnels for a while. I think a couple years, I want to say. But if this stuff did happen, like I said, between Dustin and Terri Runnels, I can see why Dustin Rhodes went down the path he did before getting himself together, why he was facing demons, why his mind wasn't straight at the time. I can see why. Look what he went through. Things he wasn't in the best situation. But I'm glad he is now. He's still wrestling. He's a coach at AEW now. And I think he's tired or semi-retired. I believe he's retired now because he's been wrestling since the late 80s, early 90s. But did you guys hear about that news, though? That is just crazy, though. But other than that, that's all I have from Marty Janetty exposes Dusty Rhodes and Terri Runnels. We're talking the attainment of Terri, Dusty, and Dustin Rhodes. You guys click the link below to the next video. And as usual, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.